I'm Monica, a bilingual gallery teacher at the Amon Carter Museum of American Art. Today on Cooped Up with the Carter, we will be drawing our own still lifes inspired by Arthur Dove's The Lobster. With the help of my family,
Hi, I'm Galilea. And I'm Anna.
we went around our home and chose some of our favorite objects and arranged them in an interesting way. Take some time to do this with your family. Now remember that Arthur Dove chose very bright colors and lots of textures, so be sure to include objects that are very vibrant and interesting. I chose some apples with lots of different colors and this basket with lots of pattern and textures.
And I chose this colorful, scented candle. And my favorite cup, that its name is Chip of the Maybe Apple.
Beautiful.
I want peppers and I want goldfish.
Perfect. So now we're going to gather a few more supplies and get started. A few more things you'll need are a pencil, a piece of paper to draw on, some colored pencils, a pencil sharpener, and a dark colored marker for our very last step. Let's get started. So what you want to do first, you want to mark kind of the objects that you have, just to kind of get a sense of the size and where everything's going to lay. And these are going to be very faint line. And you just want to start out with very basic lines, so circles, lines, dashes. And you just want to go over a few more lines just to get the shape. Now Arthur Dove's work was influenced by Matisse, and so all of his lines are very loose. Okay, so our step 2 is going to be filling in the rest of the shapes. So just getting the general layout of your still life. Now I don't have a fancy lobster in mind, but I chose some objects, or we chose as a family, chose objects that had different shapes and textures too. So just a reminder of that. Next step, after we've drawn in all of our objects, we're gonna go ahead and start adding color. As you see here, I've started with my fruits and really used my basic colors such as red and yellows to mimic the texture and the colors on the apples, the green. You want to be sure that you're focusing on your source of light too, so mine is right above. So all of my objects are going to have a darker shade underneath them in my drawing. So just like I did here. It can be really fun to focus on the details, kind of like Galilea's mug right here. Chip has a little smile on him. So I went ahead and drew that, and then I drew my sweet peppers over here. Sometimes you really need to press down on your color to get a rich shade in here. Later on, we'll focus on the heavy outlines of each of the objects to really make them stand out. So what you can do with the color to help that right now is go around on the outside and really push in with your colors. Once you have filled in all of your objects with color, we are going to focus on Arthur Dove's painting, and so he had a lot of textures and patterns. He had the beautiful squirrel up in the top of the wallpaper. I don't have any fancy wallpaper here, and my table is just a solid color, but I'm gonna go in and add some designs, maybe some swirls. So these will kind of anchor your drawing onto a space. You could also do a table here. Kind of cut off the objects so they look like they're actually sitting on a table that, so you're looking at a different angle from it. Nothing fancy, just something to fill out the top and maybe the bottom. Let's see. Just some splashes of color to fill out your entire page. Now Arthur Dove was inspired by Matisse and by Cezanne, so their use of color you can really play with. Layering and mixing color, just adding little splashes of color here and there to fill out your entire page. But now for my favorite step, you're going to take your black marker or your dark marker, and you're going to choose some of the lines, some of your favorite lines in the piece to really make them stand out. And you can even go further with the patterns on these. just to add more depth into your drawing. And there you have it, your very own still life inspired by Arthur Dove's The Lobster. Thanks for tuning in to Cooped Up with the Carter.